Well, let me begin by welcoming you to Salve Regina University, which, as you know, is becoming one of the premier Catholic institutions on the East Coast particularly, and renowned for the beautiful campus that we have. Through the years, beginning with the founding Sisters of Mercy, one of the visions for this university was not only to fill this Oakland Point district here in Newport with young people learning about history and culture and art, but also to guide them in their life with an education filled with values. But one of the dreams was to have a standalone spiritual life center. This is something that the Sisters of Mercy always planned, always wanted to do, and as of this day, it is becoming a reality. So I'm also pleased to welcome you, in addition to the university, to the Spiritual Life Center and Our Lady of Mercy Chapel at Salve Regina University. As we come into the site, you will notice there are men currently working on the facility. And what you see is the top of the bell tower. This bell tower holds 3 bells that were taken from storage and were originally in the church in Lawrence, Massachusetts. We were able to have these bells refurbished, modernized, and put into the Our Lady of Mercy Chapel. The bells are interesting in that historically bells always have had a name. These bells, of course, are already named because they were in another church. One is named St. Joseph, one is named St. Michael, and the third is Ave Maria, quite fitting for Our Lady of Mercy Chapel. Additionally, inscribed on one of the bells is the purpose of bells in a church. First of all, to call the faithful to prayer, to bury the dead, and finally, to repel lightning, the reason for the bells. To give you a sense of exactly where we're standing, in front of me is Oakland Point Avenue, and what we are facing is really the west side of the building. You will notice the wonderful stone, the beautiful shingles. The building was designed by Robert A.M. Stern and Associates from New York City. The design of the building incorporates the stone and shingle style very common to the Newport area. The color of the stone was very carefully selected to reflect other stone in the area, particularly stone that is used on the Salve Regina University campus. Behind me is what will be considered the main entrance of the chapel. And before I talk about the details of that, I think it's important to note that there will be 3 entrances to the chapel. There will be 2 entrances on the east and 1 on the west. And the site of the chapel was very carefully chosen to be in a location that would be very convenient to students, to the faculty and staff, the entire university community, as well as to community members who have made it a habit to visit the Salve Regina Chapel quite regularly and to participate in our religious services. Right. So on the interior of the chapel, when planning the interior of the chapel, we had purchased, long before we began the design of the chapel, the interior of the chapel at St. Patrick's Convent in Fall River, Massachusetts. The interior of that chapel was originally located on Rhode Island Avenue in a private residence and it was known as the Caldwell Chapel. The Caldwell sisters had had the chapel constructed. In that chapel were located very beautiful windows done by John Lafarge, one who really developed the whole process for opalescent glass. 13 John Lafarge windows will be located in Our Lady of Mercy Chapel. A significant feature of the chapel will be a prayer room that will welcome people of all beliefs and will contain 5 of the John Lafarge windows. That particular room is located here on the south side of the building. And the windows during the day will catch the sunlight and will have special lighting during the evening to invite people into the chapel to pray during the evening hours. We will go into the interior of the building, and as we go in, I will note for you some of the features that will be incorporated from the original chapel into Our Lady of Mercy Chapel at Salve, Regina. Okay? This is, as you can tell, very much a construction site. I'd like to note the bluestone. Bluestone was chosen to be used throughout the chapel, and the bluestone has been cut to size for a very special design within the chapel. The porches, the chapel proper, will have bluestone. Additionally, you will see that the bluestone is what is being used as a cap on the wall of the chapel porches, and in several other locations. Also being incorporated is mahogany columns that will be on these porches as well as on the bell tower. Okay, we are now in the narthex of the chapel, and I note that in the narthex we have an entrance on the east and we have an entrance on the west. The west entrance being the Oakle Point Avenue entrance, and the entrance on the east facing Macaulay Hall. To my right is the prayer room that will contain the 5 Lafarge windows. This prayer room, again, the floor is done in blue stone. It will have comfortable seating areas, and it may be closed off for private prayer. Within the narthex, there will be wood finishes, very beautiful doors leading to Our Lady of Mercy Chapel. In the center of the bluestone floor will be a bronze mercy cross, signifying the contributions of the Sisters of Mercy to Salve Regina University. And now I'm pleased to welcome you into Our Lady of Mercy Chapel. You see that we have our stonemasons continuing to work on the bluestone floor. The altar proper will be located on the platform, on the raised platform, directly that you see with the workmen's tools on it currently. And in the main arch, the tabernacle, there will be the reservation altar with the tabernacle. The reservation altar is being constructed using the beautiful wood chair that was used as the bishop's chair in the Caldwell Chapel. Additionally, the side vestibules will also contain the wood carvings from the Caldwell Chapel. The columns will be also oak, as will be the pews. The altar itself will use the design of the wood contained, used in the Caldwell Chapel. All of the furnishings in the chapel have been coordinated either using the actual carved wood or at least incorporating some of the design. For example, one of the pew ends have been designed to reflect the designs used in the Caldwell Chapel. The pews will be arranged in a semicircle around the altar. So celebrations in this chapel, liturgical celebrations, will be very much a community, a sense of community. We are now standing in a location that is very close to the altar, and you will see that the reservation altar is well lit. The positioning of the reservation altar is well lit, which is natural daylight. Also, at the rear of the chapel is a very large circular window that brings in natural daylight. So any time of the day that you visit the chapel, it is very bright and welcoming and inspiring. To the left of the main altar will be located a small statuary area. In this particular area, there will be 4 Lafarge windows. There will be statues, kneelers, and the window and the room may be closed off to be used for reconciliation and the sacrament of penance. We are in the bell tower, and I'm pleased to introduce you to St. Joseph, St. Michael, and Ave Maria. As noted earlier, they were named previously when they were located in the church in Lawrence, Massachusetts. But we saved these bells. We took them out of storage, we had them all refurbished, and actually modernized. So the ringing of the bells will be computerized. We also have a carillon, so we will have hymns being played, or I guess on some occasions other kinds of music, depending on the preference of the students. Can't reach that when we go down. They're great. We are now actually behind the reservation altar. This is the area that leads to the vestry where the priest will vest. And this is the main stairway to the Mercy Spiritual Life Center. The wainscoting that you see will be finished with wonderful finishes both at the top and at the bottom. And the wainscoting is continued throughout the chapel as well. At least it's lit. You could probably use their lights. Huh? These guys are doing great work, though. We are now in the common room of the Mercy Spiritual Life Center. Surrounding the room are 5 offices for the chaplain and the campus ministers. Off at the end of the room is a kitchen, and the room will be divided into different seating areas to accommodate various groups who will be using the Mercy Center for various reasons. It will be well lit with exterior lighting from the opening that was created that we saw from the exterior. So daylight will be in here. We anticipate that the Mercy Spiritual Life Center will act as somewhat of a magnet, drawing people into this building constantly throughout the day and well into the night hours. Located in the lower level of the chapel, off the Mercy Center site, is a small conference room that will be available to, for all groups on the campus to use. on occasion. The artwork in this room will be the hand-carved wood pieces from the Caldwell Chapel that we purchased. But I'm very pleased to let you know that members of the Board of Trustees, the Sisters of Mercy, and several other generous donors have led the way in the capital campaign for the chapel. And the initial gift from one of our trustees gave us the courage and encouraged us to continue in our faithful journey to make this chapel come to life on this campus. And those of you who are considering contributing to Our Lady of Mercy Chapel, know that you will be contributing to the spiritual life of thousands of students who will be on this campus in years to come. Thank you.